So good morning, wonderful people. I'm sitting here in the cafe in what's called the silent space. I like this place because it is silent, except for the Christmas carols going on. You can see all that behind me. Very Christmassy atmosphere over here. It's nice. Got myself a coffee. I wanted to briefly touch base with you about how to go about this whole section of uh, core values. Because this is a yet uninvestigated subject. Yes, core values is not thought of except for in mainstream psychology, but I'm trying to get a handle on how to work with this in Jyotish. So when you talk of Jyotish, it can be used in a number of ways, and the traditional methodology is to just use it in terms of predicting. Well, there are lots of aspects to it. You can use it in terms of readings, you can use it in terms of psychology, you can use it in terms of finding out your career talents and so on. Jyotish has got lots of applications, which is still, I would say, rather uninvestigated. It's not really thought of, very much popular. There is a common misconception that astrology means only sitting and doing predictive stuff. You're going to get such and such goodies at such and such times, or bad times, or health issues, and so on. But astrology should be more than that. Astrology should be where we try to investigate what is it that we can help ourselves with. The core values. I'll just read off from my notes so that I don't have to sit and memorize every one of them. Okay? What are we talking about when we say core values? Okay. Core values means external status. That is the sun. The sun in your chart is really your external status. There's nothing else in your chart. There is external status. Wherever sun sits, you want popularity there. You want presence there. You want your soul shines wherever sun is sitting in your chart. It's that simple. Sun is the karaka of your soul energy. That's the external status. That's why I look at natal for everything external, Navamsha for everything internal. External responsibility is Saturn. Wherever Saturn sits in your chart, sign, house, nakshatra, and so on, that is your responsibility in this world. That is your karma in this world. Nothing to be supremely scared of there. Okay? Karma is just that. It's what you do in this world. It's not what you think about. That status is basically Mercury. That is not Saturn. Whatever your intellectual processing is going on, whatever your learning is going on, that is Mercury. Saturn is where you actually do the groundwork, the groundwork. That's what it is. When you talk of external action, that is Mars, obviously. Mars is wherever you take action. Whichever house, whichever sign, whichever nakshatra, that's your action. Mars needs targets. Again, we are talking just of natal. When we talk external, think always thinking natal. That's what we are using. External cause is that which you are driven by in the world. That's your obsession. That's your secret desire. That's Rahu. Okay? External cause is what really drives you to work. It puts all the other planets to work, so to speak, if you want to look at it that way. We have to sit and examine the relational aspects between Saturn and Rahu, between Mercury and Rahu, between Venus and Rahu, if there is any aspect going on. There are deeper layers to this, obviously, but what I'm talking about, broadly speaking, is external cause is that which we obsess over in this world. If Rahu is, first take the house, always first start with the house. So go with the house, wherever it's placed, that's your obsession. If it is second house, it's to do with family, wealth, and so on. If it is seventh house, it's to do with spouse, partnerships, and so on. If it is 10th house, it has got more to do with career. Wherever you want an over amplification of your desires, because desire is what drives us, essentially speaking, in this world, isn't it? All desires is Rahu. Then there's external creation. Now, this is where it gets tricky because external and internal creation is essentially the same. It's Venus everywhere. Venus in external and Venus in internal is what we are aiming for in this life. Always think of it this way. Okay? Venus is your creation. Venus is what you aim for. Think of Venus as your DNA, as your maternal DNA, as your body, your eyes, as your reproductive organs. You have a body after all. Where do you think the body came from? You didn't drop out of a tree. You came out of your mother's womb. You came out of the sexual unionship between two individuals, two complete strangers for that matter. So all of this in a greater clock system of Jyotish has a deeper meaning. Venus is what you create outside, Venus is what you create inside. And so talking of internal status now, internal value system, internal status is the moon. This is actually the hidden secret between sun and moon. Moon has to be seen in an internal way, sun has to be seen in an external way. Sun is very external. Look at the broad daylight. Yes? But it's a sun. That is a afternoon sun, is 10th house. So from sunrise to sunset, let's say from Aries going to Libra in the clockwise direction, you come across the 12th house, 11th house, 10th house, sunsets in Libra, rises in Aries. Yes, if we take the counterclockwise, or the clockwise. So what happens is internal status or the Navamsha starts kicking in your chart from the time you're born. Only it becomes active the moment you engage with somebody else because your intimate self is exposed to another individual, or after 30 years of age, if you're choosing to be single. Internal status is that which you get from the moon. Internal responsibility is that which is Jupiter. Jupiter is your jiva. Jupiter is your core akashic self. What Jupiter has come here to learn as a soul, as you in this lifetime, is to be examined from Navamsha. Natal is where it will play out in the external. But essentially Jupiter is internal work. If you see the most of the karakas of internal status are all Brahmana nakshatras, are all nakshatras or the planets which are highly sattvic in nature, Moon, Venus, Jupiter. So Jupiter becomes that internal wisdom, that silent conscience that you have is Jupiter, or lack thereof. Internal action is your intellect, because that also cannot be seen outside. Whatever cannot be seen outside is inside. Nobody can see your intellect. Even if you sit before me here, I can't see your intellect. I can see only your face, your nose, your features. I can't see what's going on inside your head. That is Navamsha. What's going on in you, deep inside your head, your innate sense of moral compass, your innate sense of wisdom is Jupiter. Your innate sense of emotion. I can't see your emotion, what goes on inside you, even if you're sitting in front of me. Internal status. Internal cause, that which causes the self to go towards moksha, that is Ketu, moksha karaka. Eventually, in your Navamsha, wherever Ketu is placed, it will start pulling you in that direction. Because the soul is not here for all this coffee, tea, and spouse, and kids, and endless list of human desires. Your soul doesn't give a shit about all of this. Doesn't care. What it cares about is your soul growth. From last time to this lifetime, what you came to do and what you're going to do next lifetime around. It's a continuum. Ketu is that. Ketu is that moksha karaka. Ketu is that hidden self, hidden spirit in the sky. Ketu is the karaka of the skies. Ketu doesn't care anything about the material world. So watch very carefully which nakshatra, which sign, which house is placed in the Navamsha, because eventually you will land there. Eventually you should go in that direction consciously. I'm bringing all this to you so that you have a conscious approach to astrology. Don't go blindly with anything. Don't go blindly with whatever I am saying in this entire channel or any astrologer's channel. I'm telling you right now. You have to do your own piecemeal analysis. That's why there is so much of teaching content on this channel. Internal creation, again, that which you have created value within is Venus. That which you have created as beauty and aesthetics in the external is external Venus. Venus is external, Venus is internal. This is the only planet which is reflective. It's like a self-mirroring mirror. It's like, two mirrors facing each other. That's Venus. Now, all that being said, what do I bring these case studies for? Now, for me, every single playlist on this channel, if you see, there is case studies. Why do I bring all these case studies? Well, doing astrology or trying to learn Jyotish without case studies is like trying to understand physics or chemistry without the lab experiments. You have to experiment and check what goes on. You have to mix two chemicals and see what happens, what chemical reaction happens, what new chemicals emerge, or smoke, or fire, or precipitates, or whatever it is, right? You have to examine all these things by the way of experimentation. That's why I give you case studies. And the reason I put music and all that in the background and everything is to lighten up the spirit. Astrology can get really heavy. This is the approach you got to take, my dear friends. You got to learn it step by step. You got to do as many case studies. It's not one size fits all. Every individual is so unique. How it plays out in one, you can't say, okay, in Barack Obama's chart, there is Venus plus Ketu here, so I'm also like this. No. You'll be going completely wrong. There is not a single individual, if you can take anything out of this video, there's not a single individual on this planet who is a duplicate of one another, not even identical twins are. Take it from there. That's the most difficult thing for you to wrap your head around. Each one of you, it is your responsibility to figure yourself out and carry it out in the best possible way, not an outcome basis, but at least for your joy. People are so sad these days. It's a time of plenty. Look around you, there's so much everywhere. Get with your own chart, understand with the case studies what is going on. That's why I published on the LinkedIn newsletter. That's why I'm going to publish this on the newsletter, and as well as Apple, Spotify, podcasts. I put it on multiple platforms for a reason. Because these platforms tend to get very anal about all kinds of restrictions. They invent new policies. Now you have a new policy for something. Nonsense. So I put it on multiple platforms so that access is available to all people. So I'll leave it at this. Go through all the case studies, go through all the principles. The complete transcripts of this are on my LinkedIn newsletter. If you want to see it, it's in the channel description. Go through that. That has full transcripts. You don't have to break your head about transcripts. I give them up all freely. My idea is to develop a whole new brand of Jyotishis. Jyotish needs to be taught in schools, in universities, in colleges. This is the only way we are going to empower humans. Why? Because there is no one size fits all. That's simple. I'll see you in the next. Take care. Be safe.